you've lived between Singapore and the US quite a bit, different parts of your life, right? Like, so yeah, the just brings to mind this question of home and what is it? Because I've done a bit of that, but I've definitely stayed in Singapore longer, so I think home still is Singapore. But for you, how has that, for the lack of a better word, messed up your concept of home?
Well, okay. Well, for starters, I was born in Singapore, but I moved to Washington D.C. when I was 5. So, that sense of identity on what is your the basis of where you return to was something a little foreign to me. So by the time I came home and I was in late primary phase, I was a little bit discombobulated. I didn't really know. And beyond that, I've spent the last 11 years in California before moving back to Singapore in 2013, before upping and leaving again. And in California, I lived in 8 different places, 8 different
Gosh.
rental or homes that I bought. And in Singapore, from 2013 to 2015, 2 years, I actually lived in 6 different locations. So
Wow.
so the idea
Yeah,
of
so
home
the-
is not, let's say, Holland, where I kind of grew up in my teenage years, Holland
Right.
Village, I mean, or but
So what is your idea of-
in San Diego where I lived, it's not Hillcrest. I think my identity when I think about where home is, it's being with the people that you love. I think that's most important because unlike other people who know exactly where they come to when they land, when they come back to Singapore, they know, okay, I'm going back to Payo, I'm going back to my family. For me, it's never been that easy to define.
Right.
Also because my parents don't live in Singapore
Right.
like other Singaporean families, so our nucleus has always been a little bit more spread out. So yeah,
Right.
so I think it's the loved ones, and loved ones not necessarily means your parents. It could mean the person you're married to. It could mean your partner. It could mean a close community of friends that
Right.
always have your back. And I think I have all the things that I aforementioned.
Right, in both
Yeah.
places.
Actually, I do in both places.
Right,
Yes,
so
I
both
do.
places feel like home to you, I
They
guess.
do. And if you're actually forcing me to make a decision which one feels more like home at the moment, that's a really difficult question. But I think because my significant other is currently in California, so
it feels like
that
you're
definitely
away
feels
from
more
home.
like home at the moment. Yeah, at
Right.
the moment. But when we're both together in Singapore, then Singapore still feels like home. So yeah, it's really
Yeah.
where your heart is. Yeah.
Right. And what do you feel like advice to people who like maybe kids out there or younger ones who are interested to study abroad or even find a career elsewhere? What advice would you give them in terms of settling in? How would they make their home feel home?
Well, the first thing I would say is when it comes to advice on studying abroad, when it comes to Singaporeans, do it. And the reason why I say that is because I think that a lot of us in Singapore are a little bit sheltered, and we always stay,
yeah.
with our families, right? And we don't give ourselves a chance to gain our independence. I think that's really important. But when you go abroad, be prepared that there are things you need to know. You need how to rent, you need how to get social security, you need to know how to pay
Set
your
up a
bills,
bank account, or
exactly,
a phone account,
pay taxes, and that
do
includes
laundry.
do laundry, cook. You've got to do all these things because unlike not many places are as convenient as Singapore, where you can literally walk down from your HDB flat and buy food for $4.
Yeah.
I was about to say $2, but you know what? We're not in the 80s anymore. But you literally can do that. But over there, I mean, if you walk out of the place where you live, yes, you can buy something immediate, but it'll probably cost you like 20. So
Yeah, no, we're seriously pampered here. I mean, I know everything's so clean. You don't see the rats that you see in the New York subways. You can find a trash bin on every corner of the street. Whereas I find myself carrying my trash around sometimes because it's just not as convenient.
yeah,
in the States.
but I do have to say it's a great learning curve, and you will be so proud of the journey that you make as you learn how to become an independent person, even when you make that trek or return to Singapore after that.
Right.